Guys, I did a thing. Can you believe it? Do you love it? I love it. So if you're new here, I used to be blonde and the upkeep is just so crazy. I was born with like dirty blonde hair and I've had that my whole life, and then I always tried to keep it blonde and like bleached, and it was nice for a while and I liked it, but I'm trying to go back to like my natural roots so I can actually have low maintenance hair, maybe get it to be a little bit more healthy, like do the thing, right? So anyways, that's not why you came here today. Why you came here today was so that I could tell you about my June analytics on Outschool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and debrief you of everything that I did, what my amount is that I've made, and I will probably prompt a little bit a understanding of how Outschool does their payouts, because it is a little bit tricky to maybe understand in the beginning. I'm also going to give you some tips and strategies about what I use this month and how I'm able to get to the actual payout that I'm at right now, and my projected for next month and what that's going to look like. So let's go ahead and get started. Everybody, so it is time to see the analytics of my month of June. Now, let me just be clear. I did technically make multiple four figures in June. But if you remember from my previous videos, when you are paid on Outschool, it is a little bit different. So I'm going to go to the help section right here so I can give you the exact details of how Outschool pays. So let's see. I'm going to go to teacher pay. Whoops, that's my link. Teacher pay. And what this will do is explain to you exactly how teachers are paid. Let's see. I'll go to new teacher FAQ. I believe this is where I found. Okay. How will I be paid? Okay, here we go. You will be paid the full amount for the class 7 to 10 days after the start date for fixed duration classes, or on Sunday approximately 2 weeks after the meeting for ongoing classes. Outschool takes a 30% service fee, so you will receive 70% of enrollment fees based on the number of learners enrolled. We will pay you via PayPal. Don't forget to add a valid PayPal account to your teacher payout email, okay? But here you go. So it's 7 to 10 days after the start date, or 2 weeks after the meeting for ongoing classes. So it depends, first of all, on what type of class that you have, number one. And number two, it also is affected by like what kind of class you have and how many days after that it actually comes through. So when I show you my stats today, it won't be for all of my June dates, because if you look at a calendar right here, I'm going to show you my monthly calendar. Let me try to get out of this. So when I have my June dates right here, today is June 30th. I'm actually filming on the same day I'm uploading because I wanted to be as accurate as I possibly could. But tomorrow is going to be July 1st, so they're going to start inputting things into my July month. So think about it this way. Anything from last week that is potentially the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, because I don't work weekends, these things are not going to be paid out until next week on these days. And even a little bit after. So even though I've taught them in June, I will not get paid for them until July. But for me, I do keep in an Excel spreadsheet. And so I have, I'm able to monitor all my pay and how much I'm going to be getting and all that good stuff. And so it just depends on who you are and how you keep track of it all. But when I go to show you my stats today, I did made multiple four figures on Outschool for this month, but it won't necessarily reflect the exact amount because of the way the payout system is. And I just want everyone to know that too. So when you are on Outschool and you're getting paid, you are aware of how they pay. So you're going to get your pay. It's just not going to reflect on the exact month. Now, maybe in the future, Outschool will change this. I'm not sure if they're even able to, because they do pay with PayPal, and I'm sure there's some kind of like direct deposit like issue on why they can't update things correctly into the system. I mean, it's not a huge deal for me. I wish that it did reflect the way, like, for your entire month of June, just because it would be way cooler for you to actually see the specifics for each month. But it's not a deal breaker for me. I'm not gonna, be upset about the company for something so minor. That's why I decided to do the Excel spreadsheets of, what classes I'm teaching, how much I'm going to be making, and I just keep track of it that way. I feel like someday maybe I will do a video sharing that. Comment down below, actually, if you're interested in seeing my Excel spreadsheets for how I keep track of my classes and my pay and things like that. And I'm not opposed to also sharing a link so you could copy the same thing that I do, and then you can use it for yourself. But I don't know. If there's interest out there, I'll consider doing it. If there's not, then I won't spend the time putting that out there. But I just started doing it maybe a few weeks ago, so I really want to make sure that I'm perfecting it and making it make sense for other people before I share it here today. So just definitely let me know in the comments down below if that's something you're interested in. But now, to no further ado of what you actually came here to see, I'm going to click my stat button so you can kind of see where I am as of today. And so I have 352 learners taught so far, 109.5 hours taught, and $4,147 of earnings. Now, see, here you go. I didn't even pop on yet to see this. They actually already have July up here ready to go with 0 earnings. But look I've taught 36 learners and 2 hours. But it's not July yet. Do you see what I'm saying? Literally my computer says on the top right corner, if you look here, Wednesday, June 30th, 10:24 p.m. So it's the way the system works for them. I don't know all the logistics, so I'm not going to pretend that I do, but this is just how it works for them. So technically for my month of June, if you see here, it says I made $1,900, sorry, let me just say it properly, $1,906.10 with 138 learners at 38.75 hours. But I've already explained to you how it works. So it doesn't reflect that actual 2,000 here, which it kills me because I really wanted to be able to show you the actual amount of how I made multiple figures in June. But like I explained, I did make the multiple figures. It just doesn't reflect necessarily here. However, some things I wanted to talk to you about today are the fact that my last day of my out of the home job, I was working in a public school, and I worked in there until June 16th. That was my last day. So if you think about it, I was working really maybe 2 hours a day, if that, on Outschool after school, and that's my month of June still. And so I wasn't even giving my full attention to Outschool. I couldn't because I was in school, wrapping things up, helping them, do all the things for the end of the school year. So I really expect my July month to be pretty great, and maybe I'll finally get that 2-digit there for you guys to see, and hopefully even more than that. I'm learning every month on how to get better and how to put more classes out there that parents and students want to see. And so it's just so exciting for me to show you this and just show you how I started. Let me go back. I technically signed up last May of 2020, and then I never did anything with it. And so I just technically started they count me as February, even though I taught 1 or 2 classes. And so there's no pay there. If you see, actually, when I go back to my stats, it will show you that I got no pay. Let me see how far I can go back here. Okay, it just goes from July. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Let's see if we can just do all 30 rows. Okay. Yeah, so February 2021 is when I technically started teaching. As you can see here, I had 6 learners, and it was half hour, but it didn't reflect my pay until the next month, blah, blah, blah. I've explained that. So yeah, it will be cool as my numbers keep growing as I go. Obviously, you can see my growth, right? It was very little, and then I started to, figure out what the whole Outschool thing is. So I made more money in April, and then obviously May, I was like, dude, I'm going to crush this. I'm going to make this my full-time income. And then here I am. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. And if you sign up through my link on Outschool, I will work with you and coach you and tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. That's fun for me. I really do love it. I do get a bonus for helping teachers sign on. It is not a team. It's not a monthly commission. I do not make money off of you in general. I just make a bonus if I have new teachers sign up and then I help them become Outschool teachers. It's not an MLM company. I have an entire video about that, but I just want you to know, if you are interested in signing up for Outschool and you're not already on there, I would love to help you out and get you started, because it is so fun for me and I truly do love it. If you do not sign up with my link, I do offer some coaching that would be like a personal sale. Well, I still will coach you, but I do charge for my time to spend with you and do that. I feel like that's a reasonable thing to do. If I'm going to take my time out and teach you how to do this, I would be paid for my services just like anything else in life. And all these things will be linked down in the description box below. But again, I'm so passionate about this. I love this. I've been teaching for so many years now, and to find it online and have this entirely like new world to explore and share with people is so super fun for me. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me. You can comment, you can email, find me on social media, however you would like to do it. I'd love to work with you and answer all of your questions. Okay, so for some things that I've done in June that are a little bit different. Well, number one, like I said, my last day of school was June 16th. So now that I have more time on my hands to actually, focus exactly on Outschool and just with Outschool, I can go ahead and do things like make a binder to keep track of everything that I wanted to keep track of. So like I mentioned, the new things that I've done this month is I've made that Excel spreadsheet. And what it does is it helps me work backwards. And if that's not something that you've already heard before, what I would explain to you is, if you have a certain price point that you need to make in order to, use this for either your full income or your side hustle or whatever you're doing, you want to work backwards. You want to figure out, how much money do I need to make in order to reach my goal? Once you have that number, then you can figure out, how many classes do I need? How many students do I need? How much do I need to charge for my learners? How much, right? Everything can be figured out. So what I started doing is having my Excel spreadsheets so I can start figuring out, when should I book classes? How many kids should I allow in my classes? How much money should I, charge each learner? It lets you really figure it out and narrow down a little bit more. And then it also gives you that room to say, okay, well, I could actually offer even more, or hey, maybe I don't have enough time, so I need to move things around a little bit. So I definitely recommend the Excel spreadsheet, or even just a notebook. Try to document, what your plan is. Work backwards, have your number, and then figure it out after that. What do you need to do to get the amount that you need? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, reach out and I'll help you even further. But then I have this Outschool binder that I made, and this just helps me keep track of all of my papers, thoughts, ideas, trainings, things like that. I keep in this binder, and it allows me to have my one go-to place. So when I am thinking about Outschool, or I have notes or whatever, I have my one spot for it. It's kind of messy right now, but that's what it looks like. Today I made a schedule, actually, and I can put the link for this down below if anyone's interested. But what it does is it allows me to break everything down, and I laminated it so I could use a dry erase marker. So one of my classes is a social play class, and I want to be able to keep track of what games I'm playing with these kids each week in each class, so I'm not repeating, because now it's so popular and I'm teaching so many of them. It's really easy, I'm finding, to forget, which group I'm doing what with. And so even though I have a really big variety, I figured I need to make it a way that I can make it more accessible for me to know what I've already done. So I made this sheet today where it tells you, this might be backwards for you, but it tells you, it tells me the class times I'm working, what class I'm doing, and then down below I can keep track of what games I'm playing with the kids, and then that way they won't have the repeat. I mean, and these kids are not shy. They'll tell you, they'll be like, oh, Miss Michelle, we already did that. Or, hey, we didn't do this. Can we do this? And so, rely on your kids. I'm not afraid to make mistakes or say something wrong or whatever, because you're a teacher and you're showing them that how to bounce back from that. And that's part of my social class, is that not everything has to be perfect, and it's okay to forget or mess up. Now, obviously I want to be professional and I care and I want to do that, so I don't let it happen all the time, but I mean, things still happen, right? It's okay. I also have this little book that I will keep notes on. I can't show you this because it has student information in it and they're protected by law. So I can't really show you in depth of what I'm putting in here, but I can tell you that I will put a learner's name and maybe the age, and I take attendance usually with this a little bit. Sometimes I just go on my phone when I'm in class to make sure that everybody's there, or make sure everyone's signing in properly. But I hate to be on my phone in class, so I don't mind writing it. But what this does is it allows me to maybe take notes too. If there's a particular student, let's say Billy, because I haven't had a Billy yet and I know a Billy in real life. So it could be Billy was very hyperactive. Maybe he needs more attention, or maybe he needs more redirection. I can give myself little notes so I know and remember Billy, because I might know him as soon as I see him, but I also might not remember immediately. So what that does is it allows me to have that note. And I've been doing this for now a couple of weeks, even maybe when I very first started. And now Outschool just made an update where they actually give you a spot in the student little profile where you can click on their name and add a private note. So before I was always writing it because I didn't have a spot to do that. And now Outschool has actually updated it and made a spot for me to put hey, Billy, is a little bit more hyper, just so I remember and know how to keep Billy on task. And the note section is private. It's only for me. The parents can't see it. Other teachers can't see it. It's just to help me keep things digital, because we just did a training on Outschool too to just make sure that, learner information is staying private and we're not sharing, things about the learners because they are minors. So it's just a protection thing. But I don't mind paper to pen either. It's something that I like to do. So that's another new thing that I have done is, put together this binder, have this, my Excel spreadsheet. And then as far as classes going, I'm really trying to narrow down now that I'm doing this full time, I'm trying to narrow down my exact schedule so parents are knowing and expecting when I'm going to post class times and what my hours are and how I'm available. And I'm really narrowing down my classes and my niche, and I'm figuring out other classes that I can use to piggyback off what I'm already doing or extend the lesson even further. And so I have put out maybe one new class this month that I can think of, and it was a flex class, which I haven't gotten to too much detail here yet, just because I've only done 2, maybe 3 flex classes total. I have to double check. I think only 2. So I don't want to share too many details yet until I know that I feel confident in sharing all the information with you, because I want to have the experience first. And then I can say, hey, this is what worked. This is what didn't work. I'm still figuring out exactly how I want to make those classes effective. So once I do that, I'll share it with you guys. All right. So if you have any questions about any of these things, if you want to have this is just a piece of paper I put in my binder slit, so I can share this with you too. If you want to print and make your own, I can share my Excel spreadsheet, whatever you need to know or whatever you need help with, let me know and I will help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful for you. If you still have any questions, please go ahead and drop those down in the comments down below. I know that sometimes this can be a lot of information. If you're not already teaching on the Outschool platform, you might have more questions than someone that already is. And so just go ahead and leave me a comment, or you can message me or email me at michelle@michellemahoneyonline.com, and I'd be happy to help you in figuring out whatever it is that you need so that you can have a successful online teaching journey as well. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can check out my new videos. I usually post 2 videos per week, and if you subscribe, then you'll be able to know when those videos actually come out. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one.